Good morning, folks. It's Saturday, the 10th of June, and I couldn't resist a beach walk today. The weather is extraordinary. It is a glorious, glorious day, and we are apparently going to be experiencing very high temperatures today, up to 24, 25, maybe 28 degrees. So that's a lot for this area, and people will complain because, if you've got nothing else to complain about, why not complain about the weather? Anyway, I am delighted to be down at the beach. I wish my husband was not working today, because this is where we would come and spend some time, and we would go out into the sea. Now, the sea is look at that dog just loving the beach, reveling in it. Anyway, so the sea is cold here, and but it's been so warm lately that I'm sure that the water temperature has risen somewhat. And this place is going to be packed later with people out on the sea and on the beach. It's nice and early at the moment. Despite it only just being 9 o'clock, you can see how high the sun is, and it'll stay up in the sky as it traverses up until about 10 tonight or so. And if we have no clouds, then it's just going to be absolutely amazing. Across in the distance there is Berg Head Fishing Village, and over that way is the Rosal Forest. Can't see it, but Kelburn Forest, yes you can, just on the end there of the beach huts you can see Kelburn Forest, and there's a seal colony that lives down that way. Yeah, I am thinking of buying a little bit of neoprene to be able to go into the water, because the cold actually hurts. It hurts my bones, and it's so incredibly sore. It feels like my bones are being crushed. So I think a bit of neoprene will help, even if it's just booties and gloves. But I told Colin I really want to be able to go out there and enjoy the water. I haven't walked for a couple of days because I have had very low energy. And this is something that I'm learning to recognize quicker and be kinder to myself around. I have historically had chronic fatigue, or I'm not sure what a chronic fatigue is, a post-exertion malaise, post-viral syndrome, ME, etc. Oh, the doggy's coming to say hello. And anything like that. People who experience it or either live with it actively or who have experienced it in the past will know what I mean, when it feels like the battery's been taken out, or certainly my battery has been on a bit of a low charge, and I'm not sure, I'm still not feeling that it's right, it's back, but I feel much better today than I have over the last couple of days. Yesterday, Colin and I were so busy sorting out things in the backyard, and it was so hot, incredible, that we were just reveling in that sensation of heat again, which we know is temporary, and we're grateful for that, because, like I said to him, it feels like we're back in Zimbabwe, because we've put up a screen outside which stops the draft, the wind blowing through, so it's like a real heat trap. And as the temperatures drop, as the year, as we go beyond summer, I think it's going to be fantastic. It'll help us to be outside more. So anyway, we were working out, then I said, it feels just like Zimbabwe, that kind of heat. And I have to say that I'm grateful that it comes and that we experience it, but I'm grateful it's not our daily experience, because it just absolutely saps all energy. And people often think, well, my brother, bless him, thinks that I must be from a different family to him, but we are blood relatives, same mom, same dad, because he and Debs and their kids love the heat. They love Dubai heat and everything. Well, not the summer, but way up there at 30, and I'm not sure that I could ever cope with 30 something degrees on a day-to-day basis. I really, really love living where we live. I love the 4 seasons. I love the distinction, and every season has its real benefits. A lot of people struggle with the lack of sunshine during the autumn, winter, and I get it, because I know that once the sun returns again, I feel the difference inside me. So I think generally most of us are solar powered, but high heat is hard, certainly for me anyway. So grateful for Scotland, grateful for the northeast of Scotland, and grateful for the differences in the days which make a day like today extraordinary and something to be celebrated instead of just the ordinary. Yeah, I'm not sure that I have too much to chat about today, other than just showing you I'm going to go along and have a hot drink. Well, it doesn't seem like I need a hot drink at this heat, at that little place up there, if that's the right one. Anyway, there's a little van that comes and does drinks and cakes and stuff, and they at this beach car park every day, Monday to Friday. It looks like that's the chap, and he's setting up here. Anyway, I'll stop off there on my way back. And we have friends coming around tomorrow afternoon. We've not really done any, hospitality or anything at our place. It's been a long journey, just getting it to the point where we are really just ready, I suppose. It's been a lot of work out the back, and with when Mom moved in on the 1st of April, there was an assimilation then of extra things into the household and everything. So all of that seems to be settling really, really well now. And yesterday we put together we put the screen up to stop the wind and the rain and everything, and a tabletop to work off, because Mom's doing great with crafts and stuff, but she only has her room, and my office is very small, so it wouldn't even allow for 2 people upstairs. And we can move everything downstairs because we've made it weatherproof now. And so that'll be great once we've got that completely sorted out. But it does also mean that it's easy now to invite people round to come and sit outside. And we have a porch. And even though tomorrow, now I see that it says it's going to be thundery and rainy, it's okay. We can still be out there because it's completely protected. This is a sauna. Oh, I read about that on Facebook, but I didn't know that that was it. So I suppose for people who love sauna and they go from there to there, or vice versa. That's very clever, isn't it? That makes sense to me, if you're into that kind of thing. I don't do saunas, can't do those kind of closed hot spaces where the air is too warm. And in fact, it just freaks me out. And I feel like I can't breathe. I remember Colin and I stayed at a place in Dunmore, Erith, in central Scotland, and it's called Erith Castle. It's a hotel, and we stayed there once, and they had a leisure thing attached, a spa, etc. And Colin went into the steam room, and I tried it, and within 2 minutes I was starting to hyperventilate. So no, don't like hot air on my face at all. Look at this. It's so beautiful and really just open and wild. And as the sea goes out, the beach just gets bigger, wider, longer. And it's just a bit sad that Colin has to work today. Because these days really are not, they cannot be predicted, especially as we've got almost no wind, which makes it really pleasant. Yeah. So just, I suppose, to finish off, a little word about Zimbabwe. My heart is utterly just aches for that country. Just the beautiful people of Zimbabwe, and some of you will listen to this, and I just want you to know that whilst, I can stand here on a beach looking at beautiful sea and living in such privilege, because when I go home, I have electricity and I have water coming out my taps, and when I get paid, it's money that actually is able to buy things like groceries and pay the rent or the mortgage and put fuel in the car. And each of you who exists in that country and who earns this money that's not real money, that's called the Zimbabwe dollar, that's called an RTGS, and is now in hyperinflation at over if it was 791% the other day, it's probably jumped from there. I just want you to know that I don't take a single thing that I have for granted. Not a single thing. I'm beyond grateful, and I have no idea why I'm able to be here and have this as my life when people I truly, deeply love and care about, my people, are experiencing hardship that is hard to express in this world. I don't know why life paths have to be so different, but I do know that everything that we experience has its purpose. And we don't know that in the beginning. I think we get to look back at that and work out the whys. And there are so many things that happen that don't make sense. And sometimes people can't cope and they can't handle it, and it's too overwhelming, and decisions are made that are dangerous, life-changing, and sometimes life-ending. And in Zimbabwe, there's a commonly held understanding that people who take their own lives are possessed by demons or have the spirit of suicide around them and stuff like that. And I know it's mystical, spiritual thinking. And so many people think, millions of people think that if somebody commits suicide, they're destined to hell. So families live with fear and shame around that. Now, I don't have any of those beliefs. I might have at some point had some kind of concept like that in my head. But I know what it's like to feel overwhelmed. I know what it's like to hurt myself deliberately, to release whatever it was that I needed to release at the time. And at the time it was anger that couldn't be expressed appropriately. So the way it was expressed was in injuring myself. And then when that just morphed into something else, it changed from cutting and piercing to an eating disorder that lasted decades of my life. Just another form of self-harm, another form of self-hatred, stemming from all sorts of trauma and broken places that are developed over years of life and different experiences, and the way that we perceive, the way that we receive and the way that we process all the information that comes to us through our different life experiences. And I don't believe that a person who commits suicide goes to hell, so I'm just going to put that out there on the record. I don't believe it, and I don't think a single person can prove it one way or the other, but then neither can you prove the existence of hell or the existence of heaven. These are concepts that you develop a belief in. I now take in today, take in this moment, and experience it as the only truth. This present reality. Everything else is conditioning or hope, belief, faith, yes, but it's not a knowing. You just don't know because you haven't got there. You're not there. You don't know. I didn't know, and I don't know. That's the place I am now. You know, if somebody says, what do you think about? Often my answer is, I don't know. But this is what I could think about it, but I can't say it is truth. It's just what I might think it might be. And as human beings, we seem to have to always try and explain things instead of just accept things. So right where you are right now, today, if it's good, celebrate. And if it's not good, surrender and allow it to be, and accept and relax. Because as sure as those waves roll in and the sea pulls back, those waves will roll in again and the sea will pull back. This too, that is you are experiencing, will pass. It will pass. The one thing that is the truth in this realm, this 3D construct realm, is its impermanence. We all know that we're journeying to another destination. I'm breathing in the sea air and it's beautiful. It's wonderful. There's a little bit of coolth in the wind. And I'm going to bid you all a beautiful, blessed, glorious and gracious day. Wherever you are, whatever is your reality right now, might you receive comfort, energy, peace, love, compassion, blessing, provision, protection, and grace. Grace for it all. With so much love to everybody, and in particular to those in Zimbabwe who are now waking up, who have woken up to today, where the prices changed just for a loaf of bread from yesterday to today. And it's not a small change, it's not a penny and it's not a pound, it's sometimes a couple of thousand RTGS, which is not real money. Britain, UK, keep cash king. And I don't mean king in a lordly sense, but you make sure that you keep using cash. Because when you lose control of that and it goes digital, you have no idea the ramifications and the power of control that can come down on you. Grace, grace, grace to Zimbabweans and to us all, with love. Bye.